F1's most insane final laps. When everything went mad, 3 red flags, 1 race, a world championship won, and then lost in 38 seconds. And a last lap decision that split the entire sport down the middle. These are the final laps in Formula One that pushed adrenaline, controversy and heartbreak into overdrive. From chaos in Australia to tears in Brazil and fury in Abu Dhabi, we're diving into the races that weren't decided by strategy or speed, but by sheer drama in the dying moments. Because in F1, the race isn't over until the checkered flag falls, and sometimes not even then. 2023 Australian Grand Prix, red flags and red faces. Let's start with a modern classic in chaos, the 2023 Australian Grand Prix. Now, Melbourne usually gives us tight racing, but this was full-blown madness. The race saw not 1, not 2, but 3 red flags. And with every stoppage, the FIA seemed more confused than the fans. George Russell summed it up best mid-race. What the hell is going on? The first red flag came after Alex Albon lost control and slammed into the wall, scattering debris like confetti across turn 7. Fair enough, safety first. But then Kevin Magnussen clipped the wall, lost a tyre and pulled over. Most expected a virtual safety car, but instead, red flag number 2. Suddenly, teams scrambled, strategies were flipped, and nobody could quite explain why the FIA opted to stop the race again. Then came the restart. Just 2 laps left, the field bunched up for a sprint to the flag, and it immediately turned into a demolition derby. Alonso got punted by Sainz. The Alpines took each other out in spectacularly synchronised self-destruction. Logan Sargent bulldozed into Nick de Vries like it was bumper cars at a carnival. The whole thing unravelled in a matter of seconds. And then, red flag number 3. Now here's where it went from chaotic to comical. The race didn't resume with actual racing. Instead, the FIA reverted the finishing order to the previous restart and wrapped things up behind the safety car, essentially declaring the results based on a lap that didn't actually happen. Imagine organising a 100-metre sprint, watching everyone fall over at the start, then handing out medals based on the warm-up jog. Fans were baffled, teams fumed. Social media imploded with memes, with many likening the FIA to confused PE teachers desperately trying to control a rowdy school sports day. Even seasoned analysts didn't know how to explain it. Yes, it was wildly entertaining, but beneath the spectacle, there were real concerns about race management. Inconsistency, indecision, and unclear rules turned what should have been a straightforward finish into a masterclass in confusion. What should have been a highlight reel for strategy and speed ended up as one of the most baffling, head-scratching finishes in modern F1 memory. Felipe Massa, Brazil 2008, world champion for 38 seconds. Next, a heartbreak so poetic it might as well have been scripted by Shakespeare. Felipe Massa, Brazil 2008. Picture it, Massa's at his home Grand Prix in Sao Paulo. The title fight is between him and a young Lewis Hamilton. And as the race enters its final stages, the weather adds one last plot twist. A late rain shower that turns strategies upside down. But Massa nails it. He leads, controls the race and takes the win. Ferrari's pit wall erupts, his family crying tears of joy. The Brazilian crowd goes ballistic. For 38 beautiful seconds, Felipe Massa is the Formula One world champion. But then, Lewis Hamilton, sitting P6 and needing P5 to win the championship, makes one of the most dramatic overtakes in F1 history on the final corner of the final lap. He gets past Toyota's Timo Glock, who'd gambled on staying out on dry tyres and had 0 grip left. Glock, helpless, gets eaten alive. Hamilton takes 5th. And just like that, the championship flips. Massa, still in the car, waving to a sea of red, has no idea. The cameras cut to his garage. Celebration turns to stunned silence. His father, mid-cheer, stops cold. Mechanics freeze. A few mouths hang open. You can almost hear the sound of hearts breaking through the screen. Massa steps onto the podium to rapturous applause. He holds the trophy, the anthem plays. But behind the smile is a man who just had a dream ripped from his hands. That win, his final one for Ferrari, wasn't enough. And he knew it the second he stepped off that podium. To this day, it's one of the most gut-wrenching moments in F1 history. Not because someone cheated, not because of controversy, but because one man did everything right and still lost. Pole position, race win, no mistakes, just the cruel timing of fate and a slippery Toyota on the wrong tyres. They say Formula One is a team sport, but in that moment, Massa stood completely alone. Abu Dhabi 2021, the lap that changed everything. And now, the most controversial final lap in the history of Formula One. Abu Dhabi 2021. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, equal on points going into the final race. Winner takes all. Hamilton dominated most of the race. Calm, fast, in control. Verstappen tried undercuts and strategies, but nothing stuck. Then, with 5 laps to go, Nicholas Latifi crashes. Safety car deployed. Mercedes tells Hamilton to stay out. Red Bull pits Verstappen for fresh, soft tyres. It all seemed standard until the FIA made one of the most head-spinning decisions ever. They only allowed 5 lapped cars to unlap themselves. The ones between Lewis and Max. Everyone else, stay put. In a single moment, the rule book bent like a piece of wet spaghetti. Race director Michael Masi wanted a green flag finish, and he got one. One final lap, one title-deciding showdown. Hamilton, on old tyres, was a sitting duck. Verstappen pounced into turn 5. Game over, world champion. What followed was outrage. Mercedes lodged protests, fans screamed corruption, lawyers hovered, social media melted. The phrase, "This is so not right," trended worldwide. Toto Wolff's radio outburst to the stewards went viral, and Michael Masi out of a job a few months later. But the controversy didn't just stay in the paddock, it bled into mainstream sports media, late-night TV, and even political commentary. Former champions weighed in. Casual fans became conspiracy theorists overnight. It wasn't just a sporting decision, it was a global flashpoint. Hamilton, ever the statesman, handled it with grace, but the pain was visible. He disappeared from public view for weeks, some even speculated retirement. It wasn't just a loss, it felt like a robbery, not just of a title, but of closure. And yet, it did happen. Verstappen became world champion. The records show the win. The trophy is his, but for many fans, that night in Yas Marina is less about who won and more about how the sport lost its way. It was a finish for the ages, but not for the right reasons. A lap that changed everything, forever. So next time someone tells you racing is predictable, show them these laps. Show them Massa's heartbreak. Show them the FIA's misfires. Show them Verstappen versus Hamilton in one of the wildest finishes ever broadcast. Because in Formula One, it's never just about the start, it's about how you finish. And sometimes, the final lap is the story. If you want more of the drama, history, and genius moments that make F1 what it is, check out our deep dive on the smartest drivers in Formula One next. It's a wild ride through brains, bluffs, and borderline magic on the track. Until next time, keep it fast, and just maybe, expect the unexpected.